Hello there, this is Nitesh Kumar Bhate in front of you. Students, today we are going to learn the next topics of the chapter unit and measurement. Students, in the last lecture we have learned a lots of things. Before going to state about the chapter, I am willing to make a request with you all that please stay at home because nowadays unlock is going on but the corona is not going to be stopped. So be safe at your home, stay at home so that you can live a very healthy life in future. So let's start with the topics. Students, here we are going to discuss about the new topic of the chapter unit and measurement. The topic now going to start is here I have mentioned some topics, some units. Basically today we are going to learn about the fundamental units. Here we are going to learn about the fundamental units. Okay, in the last lectures we all have discussed about the fundamental units. What do you mean by the fundamental units? Fundamental units are those units, students, what I am telling, fundamental units are those units which does not requires any other unit for its existence. Okay, like in our daily life we are measuring length, mass and time. These are the fundamental units. Already I have told you all that there are 7 fundamental units exist in our nature. What are those? Mass, length, time, temperature, electric intensity, amount of substance and electric current. So these are the 7 fundamental quantities which may exist in our daily life. Now today we are going to discuss about some fundamental quantities. Here I have written some fundamental quantities. Before going to state, one thing I am willing to state that in our daily life we are measuring a lots of distance. Whenever we are moving, we are covering some length, that is in the form of distance. So how those distances can be calculated? There are some fundamental units. With the help of those units we can determine those length covered by any object or us. So I have enlisted here that meter. What do you mean by meter? In our daily life we are saying that I have covered 1 meter, 1 kilometer, 1 decameter, 1 decimeter. What are those quantities? So a meter can be defined as the distance containing this much amount. So 1 tells 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, 16 lakh 50,000, 763.73 wavelengths of the orange red light emitted by pure krypton 86. As you are knowing that an element from the periodic table, krypton, when it emits 16 lakh 50,000 763 wavelengths by the red orange light colored. Okay, so those wavelengths covered, whatever be the distance, is known as the 1 meter of the unit. Okay, so whenever we are going to measure the length of the body, then it means that the distance containing 16,50,763 wavelengths emitted by the orange red light by the pure krypton. Okay, now moving towards the astronomical unit. Students, in our daily life we are measuring some small scale measurement and sometimes we are measuring the large scale measurements. We are using the centimeter, meter, kilometer, decameter, hectometer. These are the various parameters in which we can calculate the length. But when the distance are so larger, if someone says that, sir, we have to calculate the distance between the sun and earth, between the two terrestrial bodies which are aparted with a long distance, so how those quantities can be measured? So with the help of some further fundamental quantities we can measure the distance between those two terrestrial bodies. Those units are as follows here. Astronomical unit. Here I have listed that astronomical unit. What do you mean by the astronomical unit? One astronomical unit can be defined as the average distance of sun from earth. Means the distance from the sun to earth is given by the one astronomical unit. It means that the distance between the two terrestrial terrestrial bodies is that one is sun and another one is the earth. So the distance between those two terrestrial bodies as sun and earth is calculated in the astronomical unit, which is equals to 1.496 into 10 power 11 meter, which can be also written as 1.5 into 10 power 11 meters. Okay, it means that whenever we will calculate the distance between the two terrestrial bodies, it will be also always given in the form of astronomical units. Now moving towards the next unit, that is a light year. What do you mean by the light year? From its name it is also clear that light year means that the light year, one light year can be defined as the amount of distance travelled by the light in 1 year in vacuum is said to be the 1 light year distance. So you are knowing that distance is equals to, if I am writing here, let's see one by one I am going to describe. Here if I am writing like, if I am writing here, as you all are knowing that distance is equals to what? What do you mean by the distance? So distance, as we are knowing that the speed is equals to, speed of an object is equals to distance upon time. Okay, so in order to calculate the distance will be equals to speed into time. So as here what I have said that the amount of distance travelled by the light in vacuum. So in vacuum the speed of light will be 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second in 1 year. So here speed of the light will be 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second into time will be 1 year. So in 1 year there will be 365 days and 24 hours, and number of seconds will be 3600 seconds will be there. So if we multiply all these values, we will get 9.46 into 10 to the power 15 meter distance will be travelled by the light ray in vacuum in 1 year. In this manner we can calculate how much amount of the distance will be covered by a light ray in 1 year. Now students, we are going to learn about the parsec, the next unit. What do you mean by the parsec? A parsec is defined as, it is also the unit for the measurement of distance. It is the distance at which average radius of Earth's orbit around the Sun. As we all are knowing that each and every planet in this universe revolving around the Sun. So at what distance Earth is orbiting around the Sun? Those distance that the average radius, okay, that the path is circular. If we assume that the path is circular around the Sun, so that average radius of that circular path sustain an angle of 1 second of Earth. So it can be given by 1 parsec is equals to 1 astronomical unit upon angle sustained, that is 1 second. So 1 second can be converted into the radian. As already I have told to you all that radian and steradians are supplementary units. As we all are knowing that there are the basically two type of the quantities, fundamental quantities, in the other hand there is the derived quantities. But meanwhile between these two there is also a quantity lies which is known as the supplementary quantities. So here 1 second is converted into radian. So 1 upon 360 multiplied by pi upon 180. So it is converted as 4.85 into 10 power 6 radian. So 1 parsec is equals to 1 astronomical units value is 1.496 into 10 power 15 upon 4.85 into 10 power minus 6. So it will be equals to 1 parsec is equals to 3.084 into 10 power minus 16 meter. So whatever be the units I have discussed here, all these units are the units for the measurement of the distance. So students, there are lots of units are given in your book. You can discuss, go through that, and if you are having any problem, you may ask to me. Okay students.